Good evening. I'm Kim Jacobs, the Balance Doctor, and we're going to get right into tonight's updates. Want to first go for the throne to ask God for his loving mercy and tender mercy over our country. Heavenly Father, we're asking you to just bless our nation. Watch over all of those that are giving of themselves in a selfless manner to be able to sacrifice beyond anybody's expectation, going on the front line and helping those that are in need. Without the healthcare workers, without the physicians that are literally sacrificing themselves, Lord, there would be no one to even care for those that are contracting coronavirus. So I'm very grateful tonight and thankful to you, Lord, that you would even impress upon the hearts of these healthcare professionals to be able to say, you know what, this is what I am called to do. This is the oath that I took, to be able to come and sacrifice against all odds to be able to help another human being. So, Lord, I'm asking that you just pour a special blessing over each and every one of the healthcare professionals around the country, around the world. Every single person that's sacrificing at that level, Lord, I'm asking that you bless them, that you bless their families, that you allow them to want for nothing. The way that they have been so selfless during this phase of life, Lord, I just ask that you provide supernatural blessings to them and their families, Lord. And Lord, those that have contracted coronavirus, I'm asking you to just protect them and strengthen them, allow them to be restored back to good, great health. And Lord, while I'm saying that, I'm just thankful that you've restored someone that I know personally. It's not of people that I even know personally that have contracted the virus, but I do know one young man, and I'm not going to formally name him because I didn't ask for his permission to do so. But I am grateful that initials JA is what I'll say. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Lord, for blessing him to be able to come home from the hospital and to be able to be in recovery. People have been praying and lifting his name up, and I'm just grateful to God that you heard the prayers, inclined your ear, and allowed him to come home. So I'm personally just saying thank you because I know I was one of the people praying for him. And I'm so grateful that you heard my prayer too, Lord, along with every one of the other prayers around his circle of friends and influence and people that love him. So I'm thankful that he's home and in recovery and hopefully in remission from this coronavirus outbreak. Lord, I'm also asking you in the name of Jesus that you just strengthen those families that are trying to adjust to being home with their children, adjust to being home with their loved ones, maybe not having the opportunity to spend that much time together before, but now are in very close proximity and having to kind of lean on each other and love on each other. Lord, I'm asking you to allow these marriages to be strengthened, these family units to be strengthened, where people get a chance to bond and enjoy one another during this time of crisis. Lord, let people learn more about each other, let them love on each other and be thankful and grateful for what you gave, Lord. Lord, I'm asking that you just watch over all of the spiritual leaders that are out here. There are pastors and bishops and archbishops, and you have the priests and every spiritual leader from all walks of life, from all denominations, Lord, that are people are striving to get guidance and counsel from them. They're seeking direction from their spiritual leaders around the world. Lord, I'm asking you to just bless each and every one of those leaders right now. Lord, allow them to have the wisdom from you, the understanding from you as to what you want them to impart to your people, Lord. Lord, bless them with those words. Bless them with the heart that you've given them as pastors, as shepherds, to be able to impart your words and encouragement, words that lend us not to have fear or to have any worry or any anxiety, but knowing, Lord, that you are the author and the finisher of our faith, Lord, and that through you we can believe and have hope, and we can trust and know that everything's going to be all right. And at the end of the day, this too will pass. It may not be that it's happening at the level that we want it to, but for everything, there's a time and there's a season. And right now, this is just a very dry season that we're in with this coronavirus outbreak. But Lord, we know that this season shall pass. So Lord, I'm asking you to continue to just strengthen the pastors, the bishops, the priests, any of the family members of those that are in spiritual leadership in any way, shape, or form. Bless them, bless their families, bless their churches, bless everything that they're endeavoring to do as they use creativity to reach out to their parishioners, to their congregation members, and to everyone that they have under the direction of their voices and under the direction of their leadership. People are having conference calls. They're doing face-to-face visits, but it's more from a social distancing perspective. Lord, bless those ministries. Bless them beyond imagination, Lord, that they're willing to sacrifice and be creative, to not just close their doors and not give another option, but they're trying their very best within the power that you've given them to still represent you, Lord. So, Lord, I'm asking you to bless those spiritual leaders abundantly, Lord, and let them want for nothing financially for their ministries. Let them have continuous healing to occur through their ministries, Lord, and let the miraculous works of you come through and manifest. And I believe that we are still able to ask for signs, miracles, and wonders. And guess what? You're able to perform that which you said you would do, Lord. And for those that have already passed on, Lord, that have gone on to transition from this earth to heaven, I'm asking that you just bless their families, give them strength and comfort during the time of bereavement. Nobody could have ever mentally prepared for anything like this. And to have this happen, to have your loved ones pass away from a virus that's come through and swept the nation is not something that anybody could have ever predicted would be happening. Nobody could think that this would be happening right now. So those that have loved ones that are passed on, Lord, I'm asking that you just strengthen their family units and allow them to be as close as they can. Let them know, Lord, that you're not a man that you should lie. So you said that you've gone to prepare a place for any of our loved ones that have gone on. And guess what? We shall be able to reunite with them again one day. So Lord, bless those families that are remaining on this earth and those that have passed on. Lord, I'm asking you to just allow them, their suffering not to have been in vain. Lord, I'm asking all of these things in your precious and holy name. And I ask that tonight's broadcast be a blessing to those that listen and at least informative, because that's the goal. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. So I am going to give some updates on tonight. I'm glad to see that some of you have joined in. And by all means, when you get these updates, know that I'm posting them also on YouTube. So right on the Kim Jacobs Show, you can get the professional link and you can send that out to your friends, family, coworkers. If you'd like to grab a link, it'll be posted later tonight and you'll be able to grab that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into our updates for tonight. Many of you know President Trump signs the historic $2 trillion stimulus package after Congress passed it today, which lots of people are excited about that. But what that means from an individual or family perspective, there are so many different entities that are impacted by this stimulus approval, but I'm going to share just the piece that's about individuals and families. Direct payments to many Americans, individuals are eligible now for up to $1,200 as an individual, and couples are eligible for $2,400 plus $500 per child. Now, again, there are lots of little teeny details throughout the package, so you can definitely Google and read it. It's extensive. I've read it. It's very detailed information, but it's very clear in my opinion. So just open up stimulus package breakdown and then you'll be able to get that information. Individuals that have a gross income of $75,000 or less, then these individuals, okay, so let me start over here. Individuals with $75,000 gross income, the amount is reduced by $5 for every additional $100 of adjusted gross income. So for every $100 you're going to get a reduction of $5 for every additional $100 over $75,000 gross income, up to $99,000. Now, once you get to $99,000, pretty much there's not going to be much for you from a financial perspective regarding just the individual and family component. Now, there are also some components in there for business entities as well. So again, make sure you click on the stimulus package. It's everywhere, and download it and read it and review it. And even when you're hearing someone talk about it, it's not as clear as when you read it yourself. So make sure you officially pull it down and read it. But that did happen today, and I thought that was definitely worth noting. The United States has now reached more than 101,000 cases of reported coronavirus situations. These cases are already at 101,000, which is the highest out of the other. China and Italy. We thought, it's not a competition by any means, but we are definitely leading in that pack as well. We lead in a lot of different areas of life, but in this is one we would have preferred not to just be leading the pack, if that makes sense. 1,545 people have passed in the United States from coronavirus disease and the complications associated with it. So right now, 1,545 deaths have been reported, and these are facts according to CNN. So just so you'll know where I got the statistics. President Trump invoked the Defense Production Act to compel General Motors to produce more ventilators. Now, what the DPA, which is the abbreviated version, Defense Production Act, actually allows is it gives the government the opportunity or the authority to completely control the entire supply chain, ranging from forcing a company to manufacture critically needed items to being able to say, hey, we're going to totally take over your production of your company. So that's another thing that happens if you're not in compliance as a company, and they're telling you as a mandate through the DPA, Defense Production Act, that which the president invoked, that we need these products, these critically necessary products. If you're not going to produce them, then they'll even go as far as taking over the whole facility type of thing, which is huge. So you definitely want to be in compliance if your company, which is bigger companies like General Motors and so forth. There's currently no proven treatment to cure COVID-19. A lot of people, we know the speculation about chloroquine, and there's another product called remdesivir, which I learned of that today. Remdesivir. Those two products are primarily the two that everyone's speaking about regarding the possibility of them serving as a cure for coronavirus outbreak with novel coronavirus. But the thing is, they are not approved products. So right now, the cure for COVID-19 has not been manufactured yet. So keep that in mind. There's no FDA approved product. And so if somebody's on the down low trying to tell you about this product, this malarial drug type of thing, that's nice, but it's not approved. So you do not want to be taking or ingesting something into your system, even if you do have coronavirus, that's not an approved item. So keep that in mind. Oh, I'm glad to see someone joined on. Katrina Womack just joined on, and I want to personally thank Katrina because she was kind enough to provide a beautiful dinner for my family. It was really plentiful. It was some green beans and collard greens and all kinds of stuff. This big roast thing and the lemon cake, all kinds of stuff. And we still honored the social distancing. So she brought it, and at the door, she was handing this stuff in. My children were so excited. And we had already did this whole birthday celebration for Frank yesterday, but then that really, I guess, served as the real birthday celebration because he was cutting that cake, and I was like, okay, so I guess we'll take pictures of both of the cakes instead of just the one that we did yesterday. It was a great meal, and I just thought that was extremely nice of you, Katrina, to do that. And my children, again, we haven't had visitors at all, and my children won't even hardly hang out walking down the street because it's people walking around down in the neighborhood. So they have literally self-quarantined. They feel like, we're good, we're fine. No, we'll just walk and do my one son, he does 10,000 steps right here in the house, just walking back and forth. I'm like, can you stop making all that noise? So they're serious about self-quarantine. When you say stay at home, my family's like, that means stay at home. Stay in the house. That's what that means to them. So to get that treat was really nice. And so I just want to say thank you, Katrina. And it's almost gone already. Fact versus fiction. Dr. Sanjay Gupta actually does a fact versus fiction production. And on there, he was talking about CDC, Center for Disease Control, recommending masks several times and bandanas. Okay, this is important. He was talking about the fact that some workers are being told by the CDC. Now, again, all of the facts that I'm sharing are just facts from another source like CNN or Dr. Sanjay Gupta or Dr. Fauci. I'm actually just being like a robot and repeating what I've heard. So I'm not the actual source in this case. When you tune in for things that I'm sharing with you, like Ask Kim segment, or if I'm doing a topic on something, then I'll let you know that this is Kim Jacobs, the Balance Doctor topic. If I'm talking about something from my book, Extreme Balance Makeover, those are my own points that I've put out in a publication that I'll be making sure that you have access to. But fact versus fiction is by, let's see, this is by Dr. Sanjay Gupta. And he says that the CDC says it's okay to keep working even if you have been exposed to coronavirus as long as you are wearing a mask. So I was trying to process what that meant to me. What I'm reading that to understand is that as long as a physician or a medical professional continues to wear a mask after they may have experienced some level of exposure to a patient with coronavirus, they're okay to still work. And that is, this is not an opinion show or anything, but that is mind-boggling to me, actually, because that means then that they're going to be exposed, and now they're putting their own families at jeopardy as well. But Rachel Patzer from Emory University, she's the director of the Health Centers Research at Emory, and her husband, Dr. Justin Schrader, which there was a video that was done, and President Obama, he actually retweeted her comments because she was very frustrated about something as a mom of 3 and she didn't realize it was going to go viral, but her video went viral. So, but one thing, her husband, who is the physician in the ER department at Emory, he says that the staff, they're doing their best to keep everyone as healthy as possible. They're doing their best to honor social distancing as employees at the hospital and Emory, and they constantly are reminding each other as teammates to, hey, don't touch your face, because you're not supposed to be working with the patients and then touching your face. So they're trying to hold each other accountable as best they can, but they both agreed it's very challenging times. And one thing that he's done at home, and this is Dr. Schrader at Emory ER department, he's actually decided to stay in an apartment garage so that he does not expose his children to coronavirus under any circumstances. Now, he doesn't even have the virus according to his knowledge at this point, but because this is a key thing, you could have it and have it for up from like 2 to 14 days before you physically know that you have coronavirus. Remember that. So you may be symptom free for 2 to 14 days before you realize that you, in fact, have contracted the disease. So that's why he's actually decided to separate himself from his family and be in a garage in an apartment area, just to be on the safe side. He said he would not feel good having his children be exposed to coronavirus. He said he would just not be able to really live with himself with that. Doctors and nurses around the globe are also concerned and making adjustments to be as socially responsible as possible. So there are so many physicians and nurses around the country that are serving the patients, and they're contracting coronavirus themselves, which is sad. It's so super sad, actually, because they're trying their best to help, but then they're the ones walking away and then taking it to their own families. But what can you do? Because then if you don't have anybody to work with the patients, then there's nobody to care for them. But speaking of which, this is something else that was something that I learned today. And I thought this, let me find that one sheet. Yeah, one thing that I did find out too is that there's a big debate about do not resuscitate. And I'm trying to see if I have that note here in front of me. But I know that here it is. Dr. Sanjay Gupta actually said that some hospitals are considering do not resuscitate orders. DNR is what it's called. They're trying to determine if they can put that into place because it's not a blanketed situation where all of the hospitals are saying that it's mandatory that you don't resuscitate a coronavirus patient. But let me go back and explain what's happening based on what I researched and learned. There are situations where patients are already in the hospital on ventilators and they've been on ventilators prior to the coronavirus outbreak occurring. So now they've been on maybe for a long period of time. And now some of those beds and ventilators and machines are needed to be able to help with the coronavirus situation, according to Dr. Sanjay Gupta. But they're running out of space. So some conversations are happening with families to say, this has been happening for an extended period of time. Would you consider removing the patient from the ventilator? Just saying this myself, even just to you guys, and I'm not talking to anybody's family. That makes me sad to even just be saying it to you. So imagine the hospitals that have to have these conversations with real families about their loved ones being on ventilators. So do not resuscitate is something that they're considering, because here's another piece. Even when a patient has contracted coronavirus and then they pass away or in the process of passing and then they're about to resuscitate them, the physicians and the medical staff are more exposed to what can happen because they're still dealing with the person that has coronavirus. And now when they're going back to try to resuscitate them, they're getting more exposure to COVID-19 themselves as the medical professionals. Okay, that is super deep. When I was reading and watching the videos on that, I said, now that's interesting. That's very interesting to figure out how the physicians can care for a dying patient and then know that when they're attempting to resuscitate them, they might also get further symptoms and further exposure to the virus themselves. That's just very intense. There's so many moving pieces with this whole COVID-19 thing. And the biggest thing is making sure that we pray and we meditate and we ask God to just intervene in wherever humanly possible. It's beyond humanly possible, let's be clear. It's wherever godly possible that he could come in and intervene in these situations and try to help these people to get back to some level of normalcy is so important. The Obama family said that their day-to-day life during the coronavirus quarantine is Netflix. They deal with a lot of conference calls, and online college classes is another big thing. They said this came from Michelle Obama, and this was on the interview over the phone with Ellen DeGeneres, and she was talking so highly of Michelle Obama, Lady Michelle Obama, and she said that since her daughters Malia and Sasha are home from college, they're trying to structure their days because they have so much going on, but they also want to just chill, and they call it Netflix chill time, which is also important. So let me read one of the comments that came in. It says, unfortunately, because of the shortage of supplies, I am sure all health care providers treating COVID-19 patients have been exposed. Italy has reported 51 doctors who have died. Yes, 51 doctors that have passed away due to their exposure to coronavirus. So correct. Yes, that's a very accurate statement. Please pray for all of the families of those that have lost ones. Let's see. According to Dr. Johnny Cladden, I may not be saying these names right. They'd be like, look, that girl over there just botching up everybody's name. This is, Dr. Johnny Cladden, Cladden, I may not be saying these names right. They'd be like, look, that girl over there just botching up everybody's name. This is, Dr. Johnny Cladden, Cladden, I may not be saying these names right. They'd be like, look, that girl over there just botching up everybody's name. This is It'd be like a bloops and blunders news. Who knows? I'm just trying to make sure y'all get this information, okay? But according to Dr. Jonay, let me just leave it at that. Doctors and nurses in Detroit are using one mask for their entire shift. And I like to say the name because, again, it's not Kim Jacobs' source. It's Dr. Joni, Khaldun. She's Dr. Joni is the Michigan Health Department's chief medical executive. Okay. Anyway, the doctors and nurses in Detroit are using one mask for their entire shift. They said that they don't even have enough masks or gowns to cover all of the work that's with what they're dealing with there. So, it's a lot happening, and so around our country, we want to just keep everyone in prayer. And if you didn't pray before, start instituting prayer into your daily routine multiple times a day, because stuff is changing every hour, and so prayers are needed. And so I'm encouraging you to do that. Grey's Anatomy is just a social component, which is important to know that Grey's Anatomy ends season 16 early amid the coronavirus pandemic. Now, Chris Divernoff, who is the executive producer, she says that they have a backstock of gowns and gloves, which they're going to be donating to help with all of the shortage that's happening. As many as possible, they're going to donate, and they have them on their set for recording their show. But because they're not going to be recording any shows, they're going to give all of those masks and gowns to medical professionals, which is a big blessing. Ellen Pompeo actually said that nurses rock. She sent a personal message out, and she said nurses rock, doctors rock, and anyone that's in the healthcare field. She put a personal message. Ellen Pompeo, you can look at that message. It was at the end of a video that I was watching about Grey's Anatomy on CNN, and it's all over the place. So if you just type that in, you'll see exactly her message. And this was an interesting thing. Today on the Today Show with host Hoda, she was interviewing the New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees, and she got really emotional during the interview. But I think the reason that she was emotional is just to show the generosity that people have during this time of this coronavirus. I talked yesterday about Steph Curry and his wife and how generous they are in donating $1 million in the area where they're living, in the California area. It's amazing the work that these celebrities are doing to give back to the community. They don't have to give back. They're not required to give any of their money. So for them to go and donate funds of that magnitude to a community to help feed children, I think it was in Oakland County. I don't have my notes from yesterday in front of me, but I think it was in Oakland, that they're providing meals for children that the schools are closed down, and now where do they eat? So they donated like $1 million. Well, today I found out that Drew Brees and his wife Brittany donated $5 million to the New Orleans area to be able to help with everything that's going on with coronavirus. So these people are stepping up in a great way. They're not just sitting back and letting life happen, but they're stepping up financially, and they're giving back to the community. So those are some of the updates for today, and I want to make sure that I answer any questions and just say a few shout outs. Hello, Lady Tanya Anderson. I'm glad you're on, because her book, make sure you type your book in here. Lady Tanya Anderson has a book, 21 Days of Prayer, and it is very specifically with a prayer, then how you can apply that prayer to your life, and then there's a section for notes. It is a great tool that every person should have in their possession, especially now during this whole pandemic situation that we're dealing with COVID-19. So make sure you get a copy of her book. Major textile company out of Gastonia collaborates with Hanes, Fruit of the Loom, and some others to begin production on Monday of 10 million masks. Woo! Way to go! Way to go. Okay, so a major production company out of Gastonia, North Carolina is collaborating with Hanes, Fruit of the Loom, and some others to begin production on Monday of 10 million masks per week. Also, I shared yesterday, and some of you are new on here tonight, that there's a report about, and this is something that was sent by a nurse. I'm going to share with you what they said, but not share the source itself. If you take ibuprofen and you're dealing with, wait a minute, and you're dealing with having coronavirus, make sure, wait a minute, make sure you, let me type that. Make sure you don't take ibuprofen according to what this source was saying, because more deaths were being reported. And again, this is based on information that was being sent to us through a nurse that shared it in great detail, that more deaths were being reported for patients that had either Advil, ibuprofen, Motrin in their systems. So if you take those products, maybe consider, because again, some sources are sharing this, to not have so much of that in your system, especially if you've already been diagnosed with coronavirus. Let's see, anything else okay, so Trina, glad to have you on. Tracy Younger, Sandra, glad to have you on. Vanessa Wells, how are you? And very glad to have you on. Norman, Royal Clements, Elder Josie. I'm doing open mic night. I told y'all I want to hear some more singing one night. So anytime you're ready to just say, okay, tonight's the night, Kim, I'm ready to free flow, because I want to have times where people get on the Kim Jacobs Show. You share your backstory, where you've come from, where you're going, what brought you to where you are today. What are you balancing? What are you dealing with in life? What makes you the you that you are, basically. I am so excited to be able to interview any of you that are interested in being on my show. And if you've contracted coronavirus and you want to share your own story right here on the Kim Jacobs Show, feel free to reach out to me, inbox me, let me know, and I will get you on here so people can have that real life story of what's happening. Let's see, Elder Josie. So if open mic night, come on, show them your talent, show them what you're made of. But Tina Polly, same, you can jam too. So come on, get a night where you come out here and do open mic night. And don't leave me hanging out there, y'all. I'm gonna tell you right now, because I cannot sing, and y'all know that. I can lip sync, but I'm not a singer. So when it goes to, I'll get out there and make the best facial expressions and be like, and won't be saying a word, won't be saying anything. Okay, so yeah, I'm a good lip syncer, but y'all don't want to hear me on open. Oh, Miss Michelle Major, how are you? It's a great pleasure to have you on tonight. Let's see, Miss Renee Habrak, hi, how are you? Adrian, hello. Adrian, get on here and do some of your comedy on open mic night. We can do comedy. It doesn't have to be just singing. You can get on and I'll put you on the side by side screen, and you can do some of your when you do your mama stuff that you be doing, the acting. Come on, show your talents. Michelle Brown, how are you? Terry Sanders, Pastor Sanders, I know you're over there praying for sure. And I got to make sure before I do shout outs, I have these glasses on. I cannot see who these names are. Let's see. Oh, Joy Cook, how are you? It's a pleasure. I am so glad. And Sean Hall, how are you, Sean? Now listen, she's doing a party. It's like a club that she's going to have coming up next week. And what she's going to be doing is doing a Q&A situation where you get on and you can ask your questions pertaining to scholarships and how to get some scholarships for your children. And she can only take, I think it was like 30 people, if I'm not mistaken. Sean, put your information in there. Those 30 people, those spaces get gone in seconds, and then people are like, well, how do I get in? You weren't one of the 30 people. So if you want to go ahead and get in, you got to go ahead and register so that when the time comes and the events get ready to start, which I think is like a Zoom thing that she's doing and answer, or either a private Facebook page thing. Never mind, I'm not doing a good job of being the spokesperson here. What I do know is that it's a private Facebook page that she has going on, and on that day it's like 30 people are invited in to learn more about these scholarships and what she's offering. And it's some good stuff, because she helped Ivan get a lot of scholarships, and she's helped Frankie, and this woman knows what she's talking about with being able to go to college debt free. So make sure you take advantage of what she's offering, and All Roads Education. And she put the information up there. Private Facebook. You're doing great. Oh, okay. So it's a private Facebook page, but it's through All Roads Education, Sean Hall, and she does that. And make sure you click on her allroadseducation.com to register. She can only take 30 people on that particular day. So I don't know. I can't represent beyond that, other than the fact that I know I'm going to be one of the 30 people, because it helps. Even when you're home, you can still get those scholarships applied for while you're at home, because all of those entities are still open. So it's not like they're shutting down and not giving you the opportunity to still submit your applications and stuff. All right, guys, I have enjoyed my time with you tonight. If you have not subscribed to the Kim Jacobs Show, make sure you go over to YouTube. And if you're already on YouTube watching this here, just subscribe, turn on your notifications, like the videos, comment on the videos, and tell your friends about it. If you do not have a copy of my book, Extreme Balance Makeover, which is better solutions, better focus, a better life, it's filled with 8 chapters of some good information in here, ranging from how to balance your time, how to balance drama in your life, balance time and tips in the kitchen, how to have a customized balance plan. You name it, it's in this book. And I would love for you to get a copy of the book. And it's right now, I'm doing 33% discount for you. So if you're interested in getting your copy for, I think it was $9.99 at this point, which normally on Amazon is $14.99, then just inbox me and I'll send you the way that you can obtain your electronic copy. Instead of a hard copy, I can send it right to you. It'll be downloadable right on your iBook. I think it's an iBook, an ebook, an EPUB, you name it, it's available. And I can shoot that over to you for only $9.99. Those are my updates for today. I am always eager to receive any donations for Gabe's Heart Foundation. The donations that we've received so far, which was from CWA Prestige Worldwide, and we also received one from All Roads Education. And all of those funds that were donated by them have been distributed to individuals. The information and the thank yous are on the Gabe's Heart Foundation page. I ask people to please, post something to say that they received these funds. And some people do, some people don't, because some people don't want to be on camera talking about that they were in need. And that's totally appropriate. So it's not disappointing to me if they don't do it, because everybody don't want to be posted that they had a big need. But I can tell you that they did receive the funds, and I do have proof and documentation of their receipt of the funds. And so if you donate to Gabe's Heart, you can donate through gabesheart.org and hit donate, and it'll go right to Gabe's Heart Foundation. You can also go to $Gabe's Heart and donate through Cash App, or you can call Cassandra Davis, and her phone number is 704-620-2786. And people that call, they get her, and she takes the credit card payment, and we're able to give those funds to help people in need. And not every instance are we just giving money, but in some instances, I know, like, literally I'll assign someone close to the person. If they reach out with the story of what's going on, I'll send them a Cash App, and then they'll go to the grocery store or wherever and shop for the person. And several people have been handicapped in wheelchairs and can't get out. But because of your donations, guess what? Gabe's Heart Foundation was able to donate to get bread, water, peanut butter, whatever the people needed that we could afford to give. Now, I can't give more than what I have. So if you give me a donation of $200 or $50 or $3 or $6 or $22 or 52 cents, I'm just going to use what you give to bless the people. So please consider donating to Gabe's Heart Foundation. You can also donate to other national organizations like, No Kid Hungry and Feed America. There are known established organizations out there that you can officially donate to. If you say, nah, I just want to keep it with the bigger organizations and not support Gabe's Heart, feel free to donate donate, help somebody, okay? Woo, Lord. I hope you guys have had a great time just hearing all of these updates, even though it's not good news right now, but trying to keep it as positive, as light as we can in light of what's happening. And some things are not able to be positive because it's overwhelming and very heartbreaking. But as long as we can keep our wits about us and enough to be able to pray for someone else, I believe that that spirit will rub off and be positive light for somebody else's life. So, all right, guys, God bless you all and have a wonderful, peaceful, restful night. Pray that this comes to an end soon. The coronavirus outbreak, this pandemic has to stop. And I'm asking God to do so. We can declare and decree something, and we can ask that it happen. And I'm believing that it's just possible that it can. So I hope that I've encouraged you today, and I'll look forward to. Thank you so much, Cassandra, for putting the information. Again, that's 704-620-2786 for credit payment. If you want to Dave's Heart Foundation is in honor of my 12-year-old son that had a heart defect, and I'm not going to dare start going into great detail, but we didn't know it. And so this is a way for us to be able to do it Gabe's way. We call it doing it Gabe's way and giving back to the community to keep his heart beating. So his heart still beats. He's just in heaven in a different address. So God bless you guys. Have a great night.